we are being taught how to look feminine, but not really how to be feminine. It sometimes feels like in the pursuit of equality, we lost the plot a little bit and completely devalued everything feminine to worship masculine. So in this video, I want to explore what femininity really is and how can we return to it in a way that feels natural and also works for modern women. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Dominika, welcome to my channel. I come from Poland, which is why I have this accent, and when I struggle to pronounce femininity, I practice really a lot for this video, trust me. Femininity and masculinity are often described as two complementary energies or sets of traits that exist in all of the people regardless of the gender. Masculinity is associated with direction, action, focus. It emphasizes pushing forward, achieving and protecting, while femininity is associated with flow, connection, presence. For me to really grasp the difference, I like to think about masculine energy as something very outward facing that's really focused on results and on doing, while feminine energy is more inward facing and it's more about being and focusing on depth and meaning. And I think in order to actually be a feminine woman, first you need to get yourself in a place where you're ready to really look inside and really think what is it that you want out of life and what you need to do to get there. And I strongly believe that the first thing you need to do in order to get there is to fix your attachment style, because only if you're being securely attached, you're in a place to be vulnerable, express your needs and to receive love. If you have any other attachment style, it will be a struggle for you to be feminine. For example, if you're being anxiously attached, you will always be seeking validation from others, and it will turn into people pleasing, over accommodating, basically begging for people to love you and to be in your life, and that's not how feminine energy is. Then you're being in your masculine energy, chasing people, pursuing something, and it should be the other way around. People should be pursuing you. Same if you're being an avoidant. If you avoid emotional connection, vulnerability, you're going to push everyone away, be a lone wolf in this world, and that will disconnect you from your inner softness, ability to express emotions and be ready to be loved. Because you're not ready to be loved, you're pushing everyone away that wants to love you. And then there's another attachment style, that's the one that I personally struggle with, disorganized attachment, where you have the best of both worlds. And I use therapy sort of as a starting point. Therapists are really good at asking you the right questions to make you realize things, and through that I started doing a lot of research online, watching YouTube videos, reading articles to further develop the topics that were mentioned in therapy. And it took me a few years to get to the point where I'm able to be in a healthy relationship now. It's not an easy process, but you need to go through it in order to actually be feminine in relationships and live a feminine life. And you also need to start being selective about people in your life, not only men but also your friends, because in order to be feminine, you need to be with people who bring joy and peace into your life. If after spending 2 hours with someone you feel emotionally drained, like they sucked out all the energy out of you, these are not your people. These are not people you should be around. And I know as women we have this idea that we cannot abandon our friends, that we have to stick with them through ever what, but I tell you that it's okay to distance yourself from your friends if they're making you unhappy and miserable, and after seeing them you feel worse than before seeing them. And that also goes for men. If you're dating a man who's on and off, inconsistent, make you feel all over sorts of emotions, it's okay to not see him again. You just need to look in yourself, okay, this person is not making me happy, I will remove myself from the situation. And if you're someone who enjoys casual relationships, hookups, one night stands, ask yourself a question if that really makes you happy. Because I remember when I was younger, I felt that having casual relationships is a sign of female empowerment, that as a feminist I should be able to enjoy them. And while I still think there's nothing wrong with it, I'm not coming to you with the spruce perspective, but more, do they fulfill you? Do they make you happy? For me, they never did. And once I made a decision to not have situationships again, friends with benefits situation, I definitely feel like my life got much better. Ask yourself a question: do they really serve you, or were we just told that they should serve us? And from my observations, the women that I thought were very feminine, just radiating this feminine energy, were very thoughtful and attentive. 2 years ago I went out to the birthday party and there was this girl in a friend group. She was asking everyone throughout the night how they're doing. We were in a group settings, but she would make eye contact with everyone, make sure to have a small conversation with everyone. When one girl got too drunk, she was right there to make sure that she's fine and we have to take her home. And then I realized that the feminine energy lies in those small gestures, in making people around you feel loved and taken care of and nourished. And since then, I've been really practicing to be more nurturing to my friends and to people that I meet. And like anything in life, it's a muscle that needs to be trained. If you haven't been this way all of your life, you will not just snap your fingers and suddenly be naturally nurturing. And it goes both ways. Accept, help, and we as women should be having communities supporting one another. If your friend is feeling sick, not feeling well, call her, ask her how she's been doing, ask her if you can bring her any medicine, ask her if you can bring her warm soup. And I can definitely see that with women who have children. On a day when you're feeling overwhelmed and tired, your friend can take care of your child. And on another day when she's not doing well, you can take her kid in so your kids can have play date. A while ago, I saw Grace Beverly making this TikTok where her friend just had a baby and was very tired and overwhelmed and feeling well, and her friends packed up things and went to clean her house. And I think that's what giving help should be like. And then you also accept help when you're the one who needs it. And same goes for men in your life. Ask your boyfriend for help or even strangers for help. Hyper independence is a trauma response. Just because you can do everything doesn't mean that you should. Just because you can carry the heavy groceries from the car yourself doesn't mean that you should. Just because you can build IKEA furniture yourself doesn't mean that you should. If you're in a healthy relationship, your boyfriend will be very happy to help you out. Men like to help their women out. It brings them joy. It makes them feel needed. And I'm not talking about using anyone. I'm just saying that in a healthy relationship, two people do stuff for each other. And your boyfriend can help you out with the harder physical tasks. And then you can help him out with other things. And when you switch your mindset to I have to do everything alone, he has to do everything alone, let him handle the stuff that I don't like, drain me, and then I can focus on my strengths. You can combine resources and create the life that works for both of you, rather than you going out of your way to suffer, to do things that make you really exhausted and really tired. I've also discovered that what really helps me to bring my feminine energy out is to start having interests and hobbies. And it's so crazy because as kids we're constantly asked what our hobbies are, but then suddenly as an adult I think it just fizzled out for me. I was so focused on work and university. We are meant to do more with our time and our lives than just watching Netflix. And there's so many hobbies and interests that you can have. When you just Google interests and hobbies, so many possibilities will come out. Last year I really got into sourdough bread making and it really changed my life. I spent so much time on sourdough and I think it's so beneficial for our feminine energy because we're meant to create something. And in our everyday life we can really push it down. But once you find something that you're truly interested in, that you like to research about and that you like to do, it brings you joy. It doesn't have to be anything big. It's just for you, for fun and to enjoy yourself. Also, exercising and taking care of your body is so good for your feminine energy and whatever it is that brings you joy. CrossFit, boxing, weightlifting, you should continue to do all of it. But I also think there's a benefit to our feminine energy to introduce more experience-based exercises. For example, walking, yoga, swimming, cycling, activities that are not focused on you learning certain skill or achieving something, but more about just being in the moment and make your body feel good and enjoy yourself. I've started horseback riding that I really love and I really want to continue, but it's very masculine focused approach because I have to think these are the skills that I have to learn and it will take me a while to get there. There's a certain goal associated with it. While when I go to my yoga class, there's no goal for me to achieve there. I am just coming in, following the exercises, feeling good in my body, and then that's it. Because we are so in our masculine energy and always have to achieve. It's nice to have those activities that you can just enjoy. I was gifted my first Ultrahuman ring in 2023 and I was using it quite a lot and then I've lost it. And recently I was gifted another one and I'm using it again because this year I really try to be healthier and more mindful about my body and what I do. I especially enjoy the sleep tracking. I can see in the morning how many hours I slept, how many hours I was in light sleep, deep sleep and REM sleep. It also helps you track your caffeine intake, lets you know in the morning when you can start drinking coffee and in the evening when you should stop drinking coffee. Feminninity. It also tracks your steps, which I think is very useful because before I used my phone, but I don't always have it on me. I also take it to the gym with me when I work out. So I put in my workout when I come to the gym and what type of workout it is. So if I go to my reformer Pilates class, I also put that in. And since I was probably like 14 or 15, I was tracking my menstrual cycle in this another app. But now you can include that here, so you see as part of your app where you are in your menstrual cycle. I do care a lot about my accessories. The smart watches were never for me because, to be fully honest with you, and I hated the way how they look because I never wear sporty clothes outside. So they just didn't match the vibe. And they have multiple colors that you can choose from. One thing that I have to tell you, to be fully honest with you, it can dry up your finger a little bit. That's why I recommend that you choose this size that works for 2 of your fingers. And that's really helpful because every day I switch it between the fingers. Also, they gave me a discount code for you guys to use, and sometimes they do special promotions for Black Friday, Christmas and so on, so I will try to put that in my descriptions, so you can always check out if there's a better promotion at the moment. And now back to the video. And here it's very important that you don't set yourself up to be a provider. And don't get me wrong, I think every woman should have her own source of income, but I think it's very important that when you enter a relationship with a man, that you don't accidentally set yourself up to be a provider. Because I have never seen a relationship where woman is a provider and that relationship is happy for both people. I had few friends that at a certain point had to be the main providers for their families because their boyfriends or husband got laid off during that time or something happened. It made them absolutely stressed and worried because not only they had to provide for themselves but also for their partner. And I know I'm being dramatic, but that's what I observed. Women don't thrive when they are being the providers for the family. And I'm not telling you that the moment that your boyfriend loses his job you have to dump him. Of course not. Relationships are about partnerships. But I think it's very important that on the beginning of your relationship you choose a man who can provide for himself and in the future can provide for you and your children. So you can still work and still have your own source of income, but you don't have to worry that everything will be on your shoulders. And from observing my friends, I can tell that when a woman is ready to have a baby, she will have a baby. But it's really important that you take a step back and assess the situation. You want to have a baby, but your partner is not financially stable yet. Maybe he's still studying, maybe he's building his own business, maybe he just had a new job and needs a while to save up money, whatever it is. Right now, you're not in a financial position to start a family, so don't push it. Because I do think that a lot of women end up thinking this way, that their partner is not ready to financially provide yet, but he will be at some point, so it's okay to have a baby now. But if you do that, you set yourself up on the beginning to be a provider, and that's a very dangerous dynamic to set yourself up into, and then especially if you bring another life into this world. And last but not least, take care of your appearance, but don't obsess with perfection, which is so hard to strive that balance. I know, it feels almost impossible. When I was younger, I would compare myself to models, to Instagram models, and think that, oh, my stomach is not as flat, I don't have abs like that. Let's be real, femininity, oh my gosh, that word, femininity is also about appearance, so you should take care of your appearance and know that you look good, but at the same time you can't obsess that you will look like Victoria's Secret model, that you need to have abs to be beautiful, that you need to be size small to be beautiful, that your facial features have to look this way to be beautiful, because that's affecting your self-worth and confidence, but also is very unattractive to everyone around you. If you're sitting there, oh my gosh, I look fat, I look like this and I look like that, it's not feminine at all. It's the opposite of that. But at the same time, you also can't just give up absolutely on your appearance, because that's not going to be feminine either. Striking that balance is really tricky. For me, it just came with age. At certain point, around 25, 26, I stopped caring. I knew my place in this world, that I'm pretty, but not beautiful in that way. So then I just started to work with what I have. I'm not the skinniest person, but I have curves. So I will show my cleavage. I will wear tight jeans. Learn to look at your body for what it is, and you can appreciate for what it is. And do what you can to make yourself look better, and accept that that's who you are. And that's everything for today's video. Let me know what you thought about what I said, what other videos you would like me to make. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button to see next videos, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!